Herbivore. just gone live, Gemma. Do you mind? Hello. Don't worry about who Gemma likes. How are we doing, everyone? Thanks for joining. My mic. Good job you went slagging him off. Welcome to the stream. Sorry we're very, very late. I have got a good excuse. I was interviewing the King of Lethwei. No, it's not a country. He is the world Lethwei fighting champion. 75 kilo and open weight. He is the top fighter in the world. And he's the first non-Burmese man to even win the championship. So that's pretty good, isn't it? Oh yeah, and he's vegan, did I say? Very dangerous, very savage fighting art, and I think that's going to be a huge thing for veganism. I think it's going to be very, very good. So I'll have that video up tomorrow night for everyone. So that's very exciting. Who's in the house? Aled, good to see you. Angharad's here. Do subscribe to her. Good evening, everyone, from my mam, Fudge, and I, Sarah Roberts, Private Mayan, Google Speciesism, good name. Greetings from Nanaimo. Where's that? Oh, it's a city in Canada, is it? You might know David Leduc then, who I was just interviewing. Apparently he's well famous, as you'd expect. And thanks for joining. Vegan Metalhead's here. Johnny's good. Yeah, really good. I'm super excited for this interview to come out. He's amazing. Maya is in the hizzy. Good old Angel. Robert Pacino. How do I say this? Alois? How do I say your name? Sorry. Welcome to the stream. What are good olive oil replacements? Well, preferably like no oil. So I guess it depends, like what are you doing with the oil? Like what are specific like uses that where you'd need something to like help out? For instance, in terms of say hummus, I just go a bit heavier on the tahini, so you still get that fatty element. In terms of cooking, like, you know, nothing really works like an oil, but I will use a non-stick pan and I will add a little water at a time as necessary. Keep everything moving so it don't stick, but so that it caramelizes and that you're not like boiling your food basically, which is pretty flavorless. Lisa Brand, how did you pick up the name Hench? It wasn't really meant to be my name. It's meant to be more the channel name. I don't know if you're aware or not. I think this is a British thing, so I don't know where you live. Hench means like, it's sort of a English term, I think. And so it means like a bodybuilder physique, like big and muscular, you know, and lean. And I had a big pump on in the gym and someone said, you look like a hench herbivore. And I thought, bloody hell, I'm going to nick that. So thanks whoever that was, who I've forgotten since. And that was a great question. Lolly's here. Hi to you. Vegan Noah. Yo. Vegan Mooncat. Subscribe to him. I've got one of his toys. I've got a vegan mooncat. Hang on, let's put him in front of a green background and you can get more of a feel for him. Not really. Do subscribe to the vegan mooncat. He's bloody great. Lois. Yeah, so... I'm Larry Coxlock, but this is my second account. You do like to make things awkward for me, you people. Right, I'll try to remember it's Larry. Yeah, so non-stick pan, keep things moving, little water at a time. Don't let things boil. Sarah, I've seen a few interviews with Leduc. He seems like a pretty nice person. He seems super nice, really kind, really like gentle and thoughtful for like animals and like those weaker than him. And you know, he says he wants to stand up for them. But in the ring, like, he will nut you. He will nut you, and he will have no compunction on doing so. Siddhartha, why not use olive oil? according to the data, it looks as though eating a more whole foods diet may confer more longevity. I mean, olive oil on the scale of things certainly isn't that bad, but it's not half as healthful as the whole foods, which would be displacing a lot of calories, little nutrition. Most of the nutrition goes down the drain when they press the olives because it's water soluble and not fat soluble. You get no fibre. It's going to feed pathogenic gut bacteria. There's a few like little negatives. A couple of tablespoons, particularly if it's not heated in the context of an otherwise whole foods plant-based diet. Would that really make any difference long term? The answer is we don't really know, but I think we can infer that likely it's not optimal. So it just depends on how much you want to optimize your health potential, I think. AJ UK is in the hizzy. Welcome. Keith Jassoy, homie, I'm loving the vegan life. 10 months in. Let's have a round of applause for Keith, please, everyone. That is fantastic. Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene there? And how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Sarah, by the way, Paul, I tried your guac recipe from Where Do You Get Your Protein? My cookbook, which is available for a small fee, link in the description. Yeah, buddy. And it was a huge hit. Nice, at my house. I ate it just before I came on the stream, actually. Yeah, I love it too. Even my dad, who usually refuses to try vegan stuff, liked it. Very good. Very good. Jeff Carter, hey Hench, is supplementing 50 micrograms of B12 enough? I drink almond milk as well, which has B12. If you're under age 65 and you're doing it daily and you're taking it on an empty stomach, probably it should be. When you get it in supplemental, in fortified form, it's a bit unsure. I think you're meant to have like 3 servings of it a day when it's fortified. You know, it doesn't absorb so well when you've got food in there. You're best to do it first thing on an empty stomach, really. I do a tincture, like under the tongue, like a liquid, first thing in the morning before I eat anything. Cat. Stu, my little girl just got me a Herbivore Army hoodie from your store. Oh, bless her heart. Looks awesome. Thank you. That is very cool. And what a good girl. And thanks for the support there. Oh, that's fantastic. Lisa, I made a bad decision and ate animal products. Is there a way I can make that up to the animals? I'm not perfect and I messed up. I don't think you can uneat them. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess if you can turn someone else vegan or stop someone else having a non-vegan meal, maybe buy them a vegan lunch, maybe that would offset the harm, I don't know. Arsenal fan, what are good alternatives for milk for making tea? What's a good milk for tea, Gem? Do you know? She's gone deaf. I don't really know about tea. It's not something I drink. Well, not with milk in it anyway. What is a good milk for tea, people? Please comment below. I know oat milk is best in coffee. Very creamy. AJ, does anyone rate pea protein products? I do. It's the one I use is bio-fermented yellow peas and hemp. And it's the most efficacious protein I've ever used. I love it. I really love it. Link below, 10% off, code HENCH10 for Viva Life Protein. I use the Perform one. The Ritual one is good as well if you just want a straight protein. Perform's got some added extras, which if you really take your training seriously, could so you get more benefit. Gomez in the hizzy, how you doing, my darling? You're welcome, Acid Harta, and thanks for joining. Where in the world are you, my friend? I don't recall seeing your name in the chat before. Where are you? How's the vegan scene? How's it all going? Luca, where do you start with the vegan stuff? You just stop eating animals and their secretions. That's the main thing. And then you consider not buying their skin, you know, to wear or on your feet or on your back or around your waist. Yeah, it's just, I mean, if you nutritionally, I've got my free e-guide, How to Eat Plant-Based Successfully. So if you want to know, like, how do you eat, how do you get all your nutrients, it's there for free. It's a complete overview. We've got our cookbooks, but, you know, there's hundreds of free recipes and what eating a day videos on my YouTube channel. If you ever decide you really want to deep dive and know all of the things, we've got our new course out as well, online course. which is linked below. But yeah, the free one is basically everything you could really need to know. You know, I'll watch some documentaries, you know, just learn about the ethics, environmental side, health, you know, just know why you're in it. And, you know, you're going to get a bit of bother off of some people. And so you need to be able to sort of stand up for yourself, really. And I think just knowing the facts, that really helps. Oh, sorry. What's a good alternative? Oh, so that within the plant milk. Acidate, neutral content, and I love it. Well, you're very kind, and thanks for joining the stream. You're very welcome around here, my friend. How did I miss that out? Why do I go all up and down all over the screen? Because I don't eat no, mate. Jeremy, wait, B12 on an empty stomach. Yep, I didn't know that I heard that before. Thanks for that. Yeah, it just is one of those things that's a bit more tricky to absorb. We only absorb about like 1,000th of it or something, or 1%. Yeah, it's not, about 1%, I think. It's difficult. AJ is an Arsenal fan. I was in Arsenal a while ago. We've got friends. It was interesting to see all the big guns, like just laying around from World War II. Oat milk for tea, good to know. Donate to animal rescue, nice. I like soy in hemp milk is nice in tea, good to know. John Doe with his sexy salamander, good to see you. Oh, Angharad, we're enjoying a lovely kombucha. Very good. Tasty. Luca, I just don't know what B12 to buy. Any of them are probably fine. If you want my recommendation for what I think is probably the best one, link below. Vivo Life. It's a complex of 3 different ones, but you know, be it cyanocobalamin, methylcobalamin, like it probably do the job for you. You know, it's probably fine. 50 micrograms a day or 2,500 a week, unless you're age 65, or I'll do, in which case you need 1,000 micrograms every day. You can't take enough in one day, basically. Johnny the Legs. I don't know what you're saying, but oh yeah, superstar DJs, that's it. Jeff, thoughts on foods made from soy isolate? Not as healthful as whole plant foods, but I don't mind a couple of servings of a more processed protein products. Simply being a bodybuilder is kind of useful, but you know, not optimal for health. Certainly not as healthy as what you displace. Plant-based power, does soy isolate raise IGF-1? Supposedly, I think you can get away with like up to about 5 servings a day. Above that, no, up to about 3 to 5. We don't have much data, and then 6 or more, I think it is, or it might be 7 or more. Definitely does raise IGF-1. But I think, it's probably going to be the amino acids doing it, and I think if you're eating a good amount of amino acids, regardless of where they're from, likely it does the same thing. I don't know that we've done any science on it, so I don't really worry too much. But I would say, don't just eat tons of one food, because, it's never going to be as healthy as eating a range of foods anyway. Graven Babies, good to see you, my lovely. What have you been up to? Aled, I don't tell people I'm vegan. I argue with anyone who questions every single thing about it. Can get a bit much, can't it, sometimes? Bippy Boppy, have you ever tried out sandbags? Some people swear by them. Oh, you mean for training? No, I'm more of a... that's more for like function, isn't it? I'm more of a aesthetics guy. All looks, no, nothing else to me. Still meditating. Yeah, I love it. Started recently, some comfortable stuff been coming up. Any advice? If you're managing, probably go into it. because what you resist persists, and it's you know. But if you're struggling, perhaps you might need some support, like maybe a counsellor or something. But yeah, it's there. It's going to be affecting you. It's going to be affecting you negatively. So it is good to deal with it. But yeah, sometimes, you know, depending on how painful, it might be very hard, and may be some discomfort while you know, it's like emotional surgery, really. So yeah, I think a counsellor can definitely help. AJ, is it true plant protein powder raises your blood sugar if you are obese? I think it will raise your blood sugar anyway, but it's kind of irrelevant. Your blood sugar is meant to be raised, whether you're obese or not. But the thing is, you know, it just depends whether you've got insulin resistance, and in a well-functioning body, not full of animal fat stuck inside your muscle cells, you know, it'll raise, but then it'll lower as the insulin shuttles it to where it needs to go. So it's not really a concern, unless you're eating a horrible diet. Acidata, actually, I'm from Uruguay. Wow, South America. I don't know if I've ever met a Uruguayan before. That's very cool. I've been vegan for 3 years. I work at a vegan shop. Wow. With lots of junk food. And it's been hard to resist the temptation. That's the trouble. That's the trouble. Years ago, if you were vegan, you were eating lentils and rice and berries, and that was probably had a very different health outcome. But anyway, I'm glad the vegan scene is alive and kicking. I would never have guessed. Lauren Wakasa is an interesting name. I've been vegan for 9 years, and the protein deficiency hasn't killed me yet. Great question. How long have all you guys been vegan? And yeah, where in the world are you, Lauren? And how's the vegan scene there? How long have you been vegan for? Bjorn the Viking, Private Ironsides, found some dried pressed oil. Found some dried pressed oil-free soybeans in the store. Would it be considered healthy, low processed food? Or is it best to just eat unpressed soy? Have they been like super heated so they're like crispy, in which case you will get more advanced glycation end products, so it would be healthier to have them, you know, otherwise. But yeah, you know, not too bad on the scale of things if it's not got oil, I suppose. I think like healthy compared to what is the thing. So not as unhealthy as eating meat, but not as healthy as eating the whole food from which it's made. The wood smoke. Hello from Canada. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to the stream, and yeah, hope you're doing well too, my friend. Sam Replete. How do I start gym if I've never done it before? I would recommend hiring a trainer in the beginning, because if not, it's a lot of guesswork. You're likely to injure yourself. You won't have like an optimal plan. So yeah, I really would say hire a trainer. If not, like watch a ton of videos and cross your fingers and hope for the best. Hopefully the gym you go to, maybe they'll have an induction and they'll teach you how to do the things. Is oil really bad? Even the healthiest oils are not half as good as the whole plant foods that they replace. Some oils like palm oil, palm kernel oil, coconut oil, they will give you heart disease. Worse than beef fat in some cases. So yeah, they are horrible. What kind of cooking utensils do you use? Tons. I think that would take me all night to list them all off, so perhaps that's not the best idea. Oh, do you mean what material? I've got cast iron. I need to put oil on it. I just want to do oil-free. Yeah, good for you. I would recommend like a solid ceramic or something like that. Oil-free, that would be better. I mean, non-stick. Gomez, I lost connection. Hope you saw my message. I did see a message. Sending love. That was the last message I got, and thank you. Let me know if I missed one. Alid, what type of meditation do you do? It varies. I've been doing a lot of Joe Dispenza's meditations lately, specifically breaking the habit of being yourself, which is great if you want to rewrite any negative personality traits that you don't want to be privy to anymore. It's been amazing. It's really helped me with my confidence, actually, like amazingly so. And then I like the generous present moment meditation as well. Sometimes I just do my own sort of, like breathing meditation, something like that. Jeff Carter, I was curious as to whether eating over 60 grams of carbs per meal, 150 for example, could cause diabetes or big insulin spikes that can lead to uncontrolled spikes. You only get like a spike really if it's like real, like refined sugar. You don't want to be eating refined sugar or like fruit juice. And yeah, you don't want to have insulin resistance. You don't want a load of saturated fat inside your muscle cells, intramyocellular lipids that blocks insulin signaling. But I think high carb is the way to go, and I think it's very good. But yeah, get your saturates low, and don't eat like refined sugars. Sugar not attached to fiber. Eat it in like whole fruit form. That'll be fine. The cause of diabetes, actually, type 1, of course, is genetic. I think it's like damage to the beta cells of the pancreas, so there's not much you can do about that. You can mitigate the symptoms to a degree with a high carb, low fat, whole foods, plant-based diet. And where was I going with that? God knows. Oh yeah, type 2. Type 2 you can, so that's just in like intramyocellular lipids blocking insulin signaling. So yeah, you can put tons of carbs in, but so it's a disease of, we thought it was a disease of carbohydrate metabolism because carbs are building up in the bloodstream, but no, that's the symptom. The cause is fat metabolism, and it's fat stuck inside muscle cells. So if we stop eating animals, if we avoid palm oil, coconut butter, cocoa butter, that should be the way to deal with that. I recommend the book The Program for Reversing Diabetes by Dr. Neil Barnard. 56 years vegan, Gomez. That's unreal. Lauren is in Texas. I've been vegan for almost a year. Very good. I imagine, I think of Texas as sort of, a lot of cattle and beef country. But is there? How is it being a vegan in Texas nowadays? Are there many vegans? Are you catered for, or is it really hard? That's what I want to know. 30 hacks in the place. I've got no idea what they're saying, but I like the look of it. It looks cool. If anyone can translate, that would be great. Sarah, I've been vegan for a year and a half. Was vegetarian for 3 years before that. Very good. That's a long time. Arsenal fan. Oh, that's why someone was saying Arsenal earlier on. I was a bit confused. I must have missed them in the chat. Barticus, 3 years. Maastricht, the Netherlands. Seniors growing and growing. On Happy K, you see a good amount of green dots in the cities. Very good, and thanks for joining, Biacus. Arsenal fan, lifelong vegetarian, 25 years. Wow, ate meat for 3 years on and off. Vegan for the last 3. Yes! Akzondani is in South Africa. Been vegan for a year and 7 months. You guys, you put a smile on my face. Angela had been vegan for 6 years this year. Have you really? I had no idea it was so long. That's very good. Wow. Right, I think I answered that one. In case you didn't see it, I think you may hear it. Sam Replete. I like, stainless steel is good. I like solid ceramic. That's a very good one, which doesn't non-stick, and it doesn't have a coating that can chip off, and then you get like heavy metals in your foods. I said, I came to your channel because I've been watching Elliot Hulse. I used to watch him back in the day. There's a lot of nice content about some aspects of life. I agree. Sadly, has absolute dogma with animal products to build your muscle. Yeah, totally agree. And yeah, I just can't really watch him anymore. Lil, hello. I just want to ask if there's a difference between the nutritional value of frozen vegetables and fresh vegetables. First of all, thanks for joining. And yeah, I mean, depending on how fresh the fresh vegetables are, they may be as good as the frozen vegetables. But if they've been sitting around for much of a length of time, the frozen veg, of course, it is frozen like at the time of picking, like straight after, and that like preserves nutrients. It doesn't destroy them. So oftentimes fresh is actually more nutritious than frozen, believe it or not. That's a great question. Where in the world are you, Lil, and how's the vegan scene? Graven babies, why are potatoes so good? Do you mean taste-wise? Don't know, they just are. They're so delicious. Nutritionally, if you meant nutritionally, maybe you did mean just taste-wise. But yeah, white potatoes, not amazing really. I mean, it's good. It's very satiating, so it's good for people on a diet. Better would be a sweet potato, particularly like an orange one or a purple one. Not so much the white. You know, much more carotenoids. With the purple ones, you get the anthocyanins, much more potassium and things. White potatoes, relatively speaking, aren't so nutritious as a lot of things. They are very good. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not like a bad food. It's just that there often are more nutritious foods. Having said that, I just ate a ton of them before I came on. So, yeah, no, they're fine to eat. Gomez, no, that's not for me. Acidato, I actually fell in love after seeing your video debunking his response to Game Changers. Thank you. Acidato, what do you think about fruitarians and breatharians? I think, from what I've seen, I think you can probably eat a high fruit diet and be healthful. I don't think it's probably optimal, particularly in terms of like the propensity for your gut microbiome to be more diverse, which is like the number one indicator or the number one predicator of a healthy gut microbiome, like having it optimized. You want to eat the most different range of foods with the most different range of fibers. And then your health potential, both mental and physical health, is vastly improved actually. So I think it falls down there. I think if you don't live in the tropics, you're going to struggle. But, you know, some people thrive on it. They say they're doing really well. They say their blood tests are great. I'm not going to poo-poo it, but just as long as you are making sure you're getting all your nutrients. But apparently there's no science to suggest it's healthier. You know, I think, you know, there's sometimes some bro science with fruitarians. Not all of them. Sometimes they just say, oh, look, cooking food like is poisonous and you're addicted to it, and this daft unsubstantiated things that science doesn't back up. But yeah, I know some fruitarians who are thriving. They seem like really nice people. They don't seem to be dogmatic, and they say their bloods are good, so you know. And then breatharians, I think that's a complete load of BS. I'd be very shocked if that wasn't the case. Nelly, I've been vegan for over 3 years now, and lately everything I eat and drink makes me nauseous. I eat whole foods, plant-based. Could it be a deficiency in something? I don't really know. I wouldn't have thought so. I'd maybe get down the old docs and see what they say. Maybe run some tests. Hope you soon get that sorted out. That sounds unpleasant. Plant-based powered is killing predatory animals vegan, like Richard says. Well, what is the definition of veganism? to avoid cruelty to and exploitation of animals. Can you kill someone in a non-cruel way who doesn't want to die? Just put that out there. You're welcome, Jeff. Happy, healthy life is in the hizzy. I think it is. I think it can be genetic. I don't think it's. I don't think it's very little. D deficiency. Yeah, maybe I've not heard of that. Yeah, milk consumption. It is postulated that proteins in dairy are very similar to beta cells in the pancreas. So we set up like an autoimmune. I think that is substantiated now. I think you're right. Yep. Let me just check something. I don't know if I meant to say hereditary or like autoimmune. In type 1, most cases, people need to inherit risk factors from both parents. Right, so there is a genetic phase for a lot of, cause for a lot of people. Lauren, lots of vegans in Texas. Wow, very good. The movement is spreading quickly. Lots more options now. Fantastic. Well done, you. Angel, I'm sure I heard somewhere that you were meant to be in the Game Changers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I am in the Game Changers. Well, my name is in the credits at the end. So they got, I think they had 600 hours of footage for like a 90-minute film. So yeah, a lot of people didn't quite make the final cut. That's for sure. But yeah, I was involved during some of the filming. My training partner was the reigning Mr. Universe at the time. So we did some stuff in the gym, and the local soccer team captain was my client, nutrition client, and they interviewed him as well. But yeah, they had so many great athletes that none of that got used, sadly. You Day, how old are you? I'm ancient, according to carnivores. I thought you were in your 30s, but found out about your son. Well, you're very kind. You can come back again. 47. I'm on the fast track to being half a century old. Jeremy, greetings from Pennsylvania. By the way, Amish country specifically, interesting. When it comes to the Vivo products, which flavour of Thrive do you prefer of the two offered? What is it? It's pineapple and blueberry, isn't it? I don't actually drink it a lot to remember. Gemma might have a better perspective because she has it on the daily. Gem?
Pineapple and
baobab. Pineapple and baobab, my good lady says.
Blueberry and some.
Oh, sorry, which is your favourite?
Oh, I can't remember.
Well, bloody hell.
I think they both taste like...
You think they're both great?
No, pineapple, I think.
You like the pineapple?
Yeah, I'll go with pineapple.
Gemma prefers the pineapple, apparently. Like getting blood out of a stone, that was. Sorry about her, Jeremy. Plant-based power to be vegan for almost 2 years. Nice. Macaroni Delta is in the hizzy. Arsenal fan, I've done every type of vegan diet, fruitarian, raw food, and now whole foods, plant-based. Nice. Runa May, what do you think about Beyond Meat? Horrible. I think that stuff will kill you, in all honesty. Has it got coconut oil in? Is it one of the ones with like the heme iron? Not the sort of thing I'd be putting in my body. But, you know, if people eat that instead of eating animals, which will also kill you, well, at least the animals are happy. So, yeah, I'm glad this exists, but not for me. Raya. That's a cool name. My little brother slowly stopped eating meat and he stopped having stomach issues. Nice. Eat suffering, become suffering, I say. Nice. Thanks for that, Ray. It's good to hear these success stories. Lil is in southeast England. Me too. I'm in Norwich. Whereabouts are you? And he recently went vegan. Well, congrats for finding that. Benny Green. Pew. Hey, Benny, did I tell you I was interviewing Dave Leduc? Only I interviewed him, which is why I'm late on. He was fantastic. Macaroni Delta, do you recommend B12 injections? I don't think it's necessary to do an injection, but it's one way if you don't mind needles. It's a good way of doing it. VegMat Codbod and Hizzy. General Codbod. Oh, Benny, I was in Norwich last week doing my old runs and training at Iceni Warriors. Wow. Yep, I know those guys. Fantastic. Plant-based powered. Can fructose from fruit make you fat? Do you mean specifically fructose in fruit, like you're eating the whole fruit? And so that, you know, that's one thing. Fructose in whole plant foods attached to fiber with all the polyphenols, all the sexy nutrients. And of course, you can isolate fructose, so you get it from the fruit and have pure fructose, which is horrible for your health. Both can make you fat if you eat in a caloric surplus for long enough. Pure fructose will be a lot easier to make you fat. It'll be easier to overeat. But yeah, if you're eating the right amount of calories, yeah, it won't make you fat. Caloric surpluses make us fat. CMAC, new vegan lifter here, vegan 6 months. What's the best food for bulking on a vegan diet? Anything really. I mean, it depends what you... If you're struggling with like eating enough volume, if you're eating very healthy, you can struggle to get enough calories in because of the water and fiber. So you could just eat really sugar, which is extremely calorically dense, oil, which is even more calorically dense, and protein powder. And you'd get your, maybe a multivitamin, you'd get your results. That would be the easiest way in terms of, you know, bulking and get adequate calories. However, if you want to be healthy, the way I do it is to eat whole plant foods. I have a couple of servings of a more processed protein food just to get my percentage of protein up. So like a quality protein powder, maybe seitan, maybe tofu, maybe textured vegetable protein. But by and large, I eat legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. For putting on mass, of course, you need to emphasize the more calorically dense foods. So fat-rich foods like nuts, seeds, whole nut and seed butters, avocados, whole grains, legumes, tropical and dried fruits, you know, like apples, not so much, just so big, so few calories, you know, about the same calories in a big old apple as there is in a little date. So dried fruits, like tropical fruits, so much more calorically dense, so that makes it easier. I like smoothies as well. That's a good way to get your calories in. Of course, you need some low calorie vegetables, particularly like your leafy greens. But yeah, by and large, eat low amounts of those. Make sure you get your minimums of vitamins, minerals. Use a chronometer app just to make sure. I'd eat a leafy green. I'd eat like some yellow, orange, or red produce. But yeah, it's really calories, adequate protein. 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of lean body weight per day if you're in a caloric surplus. More like 2 grams if you're doing like a maintenance, say you're trying to recomp. Or if you're trying to eventually go on a little diet, you need nearer 2 grams as well. You actually need more in a deficit than you do in a surplus. Kev S, is pea protein safe? There's probably negatives to having a high protein diet. I think it raises your risk for like kidney disease, which is one of the fastest growing diseases. It may potentially, if you've got too much protein, raise serum IGF-1. I don't know that pea protein's worse than other. Best to get your protein from whole plant foods. If you're going to use a powder, something like pea would be the better choice. Of course, whey powder, comes with a ton of negatives. So, yeah, it's not optimal. It's not whole plant food. So you're at least displacing healthier things that you could have eaten. But I don't think it's too bad in the context of an otherwise whole foods plant-based diet. But the longest lived people on record, the Okinawans of the 1940s, I think they ate 8% of their calories, 7% of their calories as protein, just 7%, and they lived the longest. So, yeah, do with that what you will. I don't think bodybuilding is a particularly healthy endeavour, is what I'll say. Nicolau in the hizzy again, good to see you back. John Gold, what are your thoughts on biophotons in plant foods? I have absolutely no thoughts because I don't know what the hell they are. Please illuminate me. Elucidate me. Is that a better word? Jeff Carter, amateur boxer looking to increase VO2 max. Any tips? Is it probably HIIT training? Probably HIIT training. Stuff like rounds on the pads and bag. Like just working really hard for like shorter times. I think that's the hizzy. I'm not very expert on cardio stuff, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask. So I could have given you bum advice there. Does anyone know for sure, please? VO2 max. I don't know if would breath work help because you become more efficient at using the oxygen that you have got. You'd hyperventilate and then do breath holds, like Wim Hof style thing. Thanks, Vegmet. Hi, Aslan. Good to see you. V, how much body fat could one realistically lose in 6 months with proper nutrition and exercise? Unlimited, but it may not be healthy. You should only aim to lose 1% of your total body weight each week if you don't want to harm your metabolism and end up like skinny fat. Macaroni Dollar, is Dr. McDougall on the right track nutritionally? Is the starch solution optimal? I don't know about optimal. I don't know that we've got the data. I would think that it's in the right ballpark, though. I mean, it's the closest thing. So again, the Okinawans of the 1940s, most centenarians on record, 85% carbohydrate, mostly starch, sweet potatoes, brown rice, veggies, bit of fruit as well. I think he's at least not far off. Aslan, Hench just wanted to ask, does using fat grips on the dumbbell barbell based push and press exercise make it any difference at all as to what works and how much? I think it would just bring your forearms more into things, which might not be ideal really when you're trying to work your sort of chest, shoulders and triceps. I've not known of anyone doing it, so it's my gut instinct is it seems like a bad idea, but I don't know it all. Raya, how slowly should I transition to going vegetarian to vegan? So in terms of like gut well-being, you don't want to develop dysbiosis where you've got all horrible gut issues. And that happens when you go whole foods plant-based too quickly, when you suddenly bung in more fiber and you've not got the correct gut microbes to process it. I mean, for your health, you want to do it as quickly as possible because the other foods are killing you and these foods will protect you. But I would spend a few short weeks. But it's not necessary that you need to keep animal products in, really. You could swap out meats for, vegan mock meats. You could swap out dairy for like vegan cheeses, vegan milks. You could do that straight away if you wanted. You may feel a little something for a short time because there are pre-made like meat-based nutrients. Such as carnitine, carnosine, creatine, which we are animals as well. We make them ourselves from plant precursors as the animals we eat do. But our genes would have shut down the production or endogenous production because we're getting them exogenously. And it just may take a few days for our body to recognize what's happened. Oh, I now need to make these meat-based nutrients and switch that back on again. I mean, that's quite speculative, though. I don't know that we have any real science on that. So, and I did it straight. Well, actually, no, I didn't do it straight off the bat. I went 98% whole foods plant-based and kept a little bit of animal products in for about 5 months, actually, because I was worried, is there something we need? But a lot of people just cut them straight out with no real adverse effects. It doesn't stop them, certainly thriving over time on a whole foods plant-based diet. So, if you're thinking about the animals, like perhaps that might be a better choice for you, is to cut the animals out like straight away. Make sure you're putting in a vitamin D supplement. Make sure you're taking the B12. But a lot of omnivorous eaters have deficiencies in those anyway. Acidata, thanks, man. Thanks for the time. If you're interested, I suggest to research Alatom El-Amin. He's a 15-year breatharian. Is he, though? Who claims he hasn't eaten or drink anything for tea. Well, anyone can say that, unless someone's been following him around for that time, and we've had cameras on him and constant recording. I just can't be bothered to waste my time, because knowing what I know about human physiology, he should be dead. And unless there's like a proper study on someone, I'm really not interested, because I think it's a load of BS, most likely. I'd be shocked if it wasn't. I'd be really shocked. Zenith, what you consume for protein? Just food, whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds. Even fruit is 5% protein. I get 150 grams from my diet. I have 2 shakes a day generally to bring it up to 200 grams. And I've remembered I've not had my second one yet. So down the old hatch. And thanks for reminding me. I think out of the whole foods, legumes, chickpeas, split peas, lentils, the myriad of different beans, tofu, tempeh. These are the most protein dense sources. Then your whole grains are good. Nuts and seeds are good. They tend to come with more fats, but they're good as well. And as I say, veg has a decent amount of protein. Even fruit is 5% protein on average. It's really a non-issue. Where do animals get their amino acids from for their muscles, for the meat? They get it from the plants. Like, animals don't make essential amino acids. Only plants make that from atmospheric nitrogen, So it's really a non-issue. Sarah, I was wondering what you would recommend for staying whole foods plant-based while taking college classes. I'm about to head back to class. I'm a bit worried. I'll eat more convenient. Yeah, it's being prepared and batch cooking, taking things with you that you can grab at. The power is in your hands. If you want to eat healthfully, you'll make the time and you'll do it. And if you're not that bothered, you're not sold on the diet, you don't really understand the difference it can make to your well-being in your life. The length of your life, your health span, not just your lifespan. You probably won't bother. I would just be batch cooking things on the weekend that I can heat up, or just making, salady things, wraps, sandwiches. I don't know. It's not something I've ever had to do, so I don't know that I'm the best person to tell you actually what to eat. Trail mix would be good, having nuts and seeds and like dried fruits. Just having something handy so that you never have to go hungry. What is it? What is the phrase?
To prepare to fail is to fail to prepare.
No. Basically, you need to plan. Failure to plan is preparing to fail or something. I can't believe my brain struggled that much because I don't eat meat. Super chat. Starmanas, you very lovely soul. £10 on the super chats. That is mega generous. Bless you. I've been cooking at home all my meals, no oil and stuff. Nice. Find it exhausting cooking every time and time consuming to work long hours. Any advice? Batch cook. It won't take you much longer to cook 5 batches of something versus 1 batch. You'd just be chopping for a little bit longer. And then you can freeze a couple, put 3 in the fridge. That'll do you for like 5 days. Just get some big pots. And batch things up. Batch things up. That is the answer. Look out for our new book, which is coming out, I don't know when. Any guesstimation you want to make on the new Speedy Vegan?
1 to 2 months.
1 to 2 months. Look out for Speedy Vegan plant-based meals in a hurry from Hench Herbivore. That will really help you. Right. I hope that helps. And thank you so much for the super chats. That's really kind. So I've just lost where I was. Hi Eliza, good to see you. Do subscribe to young Eliza and her YouTube channel. Zenith Heme. Oh, and for B12, I take a B12 supplement. That's the best way, really. I like Vivo Life. Link below. 10% off. Code Hench10 if you want my recommendation for what I think is the best one. Aslan, I am 6 feet tall. I don't know what that is in centimeters. And I am 16 stone, 7 pounds. So what's that? I think that's about 105 kilos, maybe. If you want it in pounds, it's 16 times 14 plus 7 is pounds. I don't really know what it is. In the UK, we go by stone, which is 14 pounds. Yeah, per stone. Acid Arta, it sounds very strange. The breatharian thing, yes, it does sound very strange. Only plants can make energy from like the sunlight, for instance, and then we eat their energy. So I don't know how we would make like ATP. Having in mind that everything is energy, yeah. Couldn't the body transmute all of nature's energy? No, because we need minerals from the earth and things like that. I don't believe so. You know, why is half the world not doing it? Why do we not, you know, why do we not follow? Why don't they just do a scientific study and follow a breatharian for like a month or whatever and track their weight, make sure that they can't eat any food? I believe there has been 1 or 2 studies and the people just got really weak and then like were obviously like not thriving, like because their bodies were like just eating themselves away. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like we can think any fanciful thing really that could be something, but unless we have evidence, it's not worth wasting your time on, I don't think. Not when it's that fanciful. I'm not saying that it couldn't be a thing, what do I know? But until there's some evidence, I just don't waste my time. You could be worrying about loads of different irrelevant things that are nonsense. I would rather worry about what is the truth of things, you know? And so I want to see evidence. Happy Healthy Life. Look up the work of Dr. Hollis and Dr. Holick, vitamin D experts. 80% of diabetes can be avoided by giving vitamin D to children in the first year of life. I mean, is that the overwhelming scientific consensus, or is that just what 2 people say? And like, how good is their data? You know, I wouldn't. That might be right. That may well be right, but I just wouldn't. Don't take things at face value without evidence, because like the whole bloody breatharian thing, like you know, it could be wrong, couldn't it? Not saying it is. That may well be right. Mantis, have you heard about the 1980 Mr. Olympia controversy? No, not heard about that. Angel, about your consultations on Skype, are you able to briefly explain what they are for? Basically, if someone just wants like one-to-one, like a real deep dive, or anything they want help with, they want to know about nutritionally, or, you know, I guess I could do some kind of life coaching style stuff potentially, or, yeah, just optimizing their workout routine, or it's just basically, do I have any skills that you feel I can help you with and that you would like to get from me in a more, of course you can ask anything here for free. So if you've just got the odd question, well, it's daft to pay that much money. But if someone really wants to have my full attention for, you know, I don't know what the time scale is. Did I say like an hour or half an hour? Whatever the time is, you know, if you can make use of that, then maybe that's worth doing. If you think I've got the skills and knowledge to help you. But yeah, it's just whatever you want and whether you think that I've got that ability. But yeah, you can get any simple questions answered here for free. If you really wanted a deep dive and really look at your nutrition and add a million questions, and you know, I think that would be the time to do that. See Money, just wondering if you can recommend good protein for someone allergic to pea protein. Just any other plant-based protein will do. They're all much of a muchness, really. They'll all do the job. My favourite brand is Viva Life, but unfortunately they are pea protein based. So yeah, I don't know what to recommend you, because most protein powders didn't pass the open label report. If you Google open label report protein powder, I think 3 protein powders did pass it as third-party testing, and most powders are contaminated with things like heavy metals, so they would be unhealthy. But about 3 companies passed. One of them was Viva Life, but there'll be another couple. So I'd probably go with one of them, or whichever one doesn't use pea protein. Nice, Serena. Vegan at Recon at 1. How can I lose weight while keeping or gaining muscle? Well, you can't. Well, you could lose. You can't lose weight while gaining muscle. You could maybe maintain your body weight while gaining muscle for a while, called recompositioning. So you're burning fat, building a little muscle. That's best done in around a maintenance calories. So you basically stay in the same weight. If you're meaning specifically lose fat, I guess, while keeping or gaining muscle. So to lose fat while maintaining your muscle, you just need to be in a little bit of a deficit, like no more than about 1% of your total body weight per week, like lost. That should best help you to maintain your muscle mass. Go for more like 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day, though, because you need elevated protein to help with nitrogen retention. Yeah, for gaining muscle, really, you at least want to be at maintenance calories, though. So I'd try to keep your body weight the same each week. Benny, David the Duke did a seminar for my gym in Reading one time. Wow. How was that? I bet that was cool as hell. Is he like just a really nice... He seems like such a lovely guy. It seems mental to me that he is such a proficient fighter, and that's such a vicious sport. But he seems super nice. He was so friendly and complimentary, and he really cares about animals. So what an ambassador. Yeah, how was he in real life, in person? Did you think he seemed like a nice guy? Plant-based powders. Are Beyond Burgers protein powders and oil essentially and binders? Not protein powders. I think that's probably like pea protein or something more like TVP or so. To be honest, I don't really know. I've not particularly looked at them, but yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're kind of not very helpful. They're kind of like the sort of thing you're saying there. I'm sure you're not far off. Mike Buka, good to see you. I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for joining. Saban, I ate some vegan garlic bread, but it was made with white bread and oil, and I really regret it all day. Am I too obsessed? Well, if you think worrying about your health is obsessive, I am too obsessive. Yeah. I wouldn't even let it in my body in the first place, so maybe I'm mega obsessive. But it's your life, isn't it? It's how long you're going to live for. It's how optimal you feel. You know, it's how likely you are to succumb to disease. Who wants disease towards the end of life? Saban, any tips for getting more greens in? Steamed broccoli is good. That cooks down to virtually nothing. Kale chips. I just like to have a serving of greens at pretty much every meal, be it like salad greens, you know, like crucifers. What's that nice sagaloo, that Indian spinach-based potato dish? I particularly love that. Yeah, try different types, try different recipes until you find ones that you really enjoy, and yeah, just smash it in because they're super healthy. Michael Enns, hi there. What would you consider a high protein diet? 1.5 grams of protein per kilo. It's what, you know, different people have different opinions, don't they? You know, some people eat nothing but protein almost, so they would consider that like low. So I think it's all relative. It depends on your perspective. But for optimal muscle growth, apparently more like 1.62 grams of protein per kilo in a caloric surplus is likely to possibly be more optimal for a lot of people. You may not need quite as much, but you may get further benefit. No more after 1.62, so don't bother going higher than that. And then if you're in a deficit or you're doing a recomp, then you need more like 2 grams per kilo of leanish body weight. But what's high protein, what's low protein, it depends on your individual perspective. I don't think there's like a hard and fast rule, really. Right, I think I'll do... I'll go for like 5 more minutes, guys, so get your comments or questions in. Then I better actually start calming down for bed, or I'm meant to be asleep in half an hour. That's never going to happen. So, I better think about winding down. Sadly, I'm having such fun. I love these streams. I love them so much. I love hanging out with you guys. Tidor, thoughts on Mark Rippertoe? Is it Rippletoe or Rippertoe? Can't remember. And his programs, e.g. starting strength. I've never done them. I'm, of course, more of a physique athlete, but they seem to be well respected. Yeah, he seems to be a respected guy from, my experience in the fitness industry. So I'd say it's probably good. Nostalgic vegan, why are strongmen so fat? Mariusz Pudzianowski, Polish guy, was actually really ripped, and he was like the top guy for a long while. So it's not necessary to be fat, but if you, if you're trying to really like optimize muscle growth and strength gains, just people go mad on protein and calories, and I think that's just a side effect of not being really scientific and just not worrying so much, and just going for it, and just erring on the side of having a bit more than you need rather than risking, maybe if I'd had 1 more calorie, I'd have got a bit more, a millionth of a gram more muscle. I think it's a good excuse for people to just stuff their guts as well, in all honesty. So if they like to eat a lot, you know, it's a good sport for them, and perhaps they struggle to like stop. Jeff, is it good to take beta-alanine supplement for sports health? I don't really know. It's not a supplement that's really grabbed my attention. I don't know how really efficacious it's meant to be. I've found most to be a bit of a bust, really, in all honesty, other than creatine. I think citrulline malate's got some good data on it. I mean, L-citrulline, sorry. I'm not sure about beta-alanine. Is that the stuff that makes you, like, really itchy? Tonio, to what age do you think you'll continue to bodybuild? 90. Will you ease off as you age or continue your current intensity as long as possible? Yeah, it's just part of my life, you know, and I can't imagine like not doing it. So, yeah, I'll just keep going while I can. I'm miles behind, aren't I? Or am I? Oh, no, I'm not that far behind. Nice, Sarah. The Woods, I can't wait for the new cookbook. Thank you very much. Sergio, how's your son getting on with the vegan? He's loving it. Yeah, he's really loving it. I've not read it. He sent me a message earlier. I've not read it yet. But yeah, he said he was enjoying it. He's been taking photos of his food. So we'll have a little update video sooner or later, see how he's getting on, see if he's had any stumbling blocks, how he's enjoying it, and we'll put in some B-roll of his food, and we'll see what he's been making. Yeah, I've got high hopes. He seems to be really taken to it, and he seems to be pretty keen for it to work out. So, and he's a very logical guy. He's a very kind lad. I'd be surprised if he didn't kind of take to it, really. Biggie, what kinds of supplement do you take as a vegan? A lot less than I used to as an omnivorous eater, funnily enough, but that's another story. B12, D3 in the winter months. I use a protein powder, use a couple of scoops of quality plant-based. So when I was an omnivorous bodybuilder, I used to have 5 servings of whey protein a day. DHA, just to be safe though, that's likely unnecessary. And I like CBD oil as well because it's really good for recovery. It's an anxiolytic as well. It keeps me calm. I didn't used to enjoy broadcast and public speaking and things, but now I'm kind of thriving and loving it. And I think this is anti-inflammatory, so it's kind to the body, exercise recovery, pain mitigation, and it's an anti-inflammatory in the brain. And yeah, I feel a lot more calm, confident. I sleep a lot better. Yeah, I really rate that. Link below. So if you want any of their normal supplements, Vivo Life, code HENCH10 are my recommended ones. And then Honest Hemp CBD oil if you want to give that a try. 30% off your first order with my code. So it's very good. So do check them out if you want. Well put, Flatlander. Plant-based powered. Is coffee bad for you? It's a mixed bag. It is a neurotoxin. It does work excites your body by speeding everything up, your heart rate. You might sweat. It's basically trying to get it out of your body. It's trying to make you excrete it because it is neurotoxic. I mean, you know, the dose makes the poison. A little bit's not going to kill you, but there's oils that kill good gut microbes. You know, for a lot of people, it causes like anxiety, trouble sleeping. If you're not sleeping well, you're not living as long. It's that serious. The less you sleep, the less you live. It's that serious. There's a really key, apparently, is your sleep. So if it's messing with your sleep, I'd get off it. Some people are good metabolizers, don't affect them as much. I mean, it has got some degree of antioxidants. not as nutritious as, say, green tea or the matcha, which it would displace, but still not too bad on the scale of things. There's an inverse relationship with coffee drinking, up to 8 cups a day, and suicide risk. So, yeah, I think we're all different, and I think we need to make our own decision on whether, it's so good for us or not. If you can use it judiciously, particularly as a pre-workout, you can get some nice performance benefits. So, but don't go mad on it and try and rely on it. See, Money, you're welcome. Saban, what about sun gazers, Probably idiots, but you certainly, if you damage your photoreceptors, they don't repair. So that's a really stupid idea if you get that wrong. Mr. Alex, hi Paul, got my tickets for Camp Out. Nice, I see you there. Very good. Yeah, I'm super excited. Guys, we have created a Facebook group. I do mention this every stream, so sorry if you've heard this a million times. We created a new Facebook group, the Hench Herbivore community. So do join this group if you want to. And what we're going to do is we'll post in there either one or both of the days. We'll arrange a meetup at a certain time and place. And then we can all get together, have a group photo, or get to meet each other, hang out. If you've got some kind of camo hat or jacket or whatever, bring that, because we call us the Herbivore Army. So it'll just give a bit of cohesion to the group, but it's not required. Don't worry if you haven't got it. Don't go out and buy something special. And yeah, I love to meet you guys. Please come and say hello. My favourite thing about this whole vacation is meeting all my lovely friends, all my supporters that are just friends I haven't met yet. So yeah, do come and say hello. Smokey, favourite vegan comfort food? None of them. Just Whole Foods for me. I suppose you could have a Whole Foods meal, which acts like a sort of comfort food, couldn't you? But I just can't really think. Biggie, do you take B12? Yep, you better be taking B12. Folic acid? No. Folic from the word foliage. As a healthy vegan, I eat a lot of foliage. It's in a lot of beans as well. I get tons of folic acid. If you need to supplement folic acid as a vegan, your diet is atrocious. I'm sorry to say. Saban, Viva Life website is strange. I can't seem to scroll down. I've never had any problems, so I don't know. Maybe try another browser or something, or unless the website's down at the minute. Yeah, I've never had a problem. You're very kind, Macaroni. Thank you. Where? This chat, I get. Where was it? Oh, it's like I jump around in the chat without meaning to. Oh, this is crazy. Sandra, how often do you have to work out to keep the muscles in their form? I train 3 different workouts twice per week personally. I think the minimum is about 3 times to have a good, be quite optimal. You can get away with more potentially. You just have to have balance in your, in your intensity in your workouts throughout the week. If you're doing more workouts, you need to have less intensity. If you're doing less workouts, you need to be working harder. Saban, I am drinking Vivo Life Madagascan vanilla protein powder. Louise, do you ever use BCAAs? I wouldn't bother, except that there are 6 grams of BCAAs in here. They're not going to hurt, but I think if you're eating a lot of protein, you should be getting them in your diet anyway. It's just simple amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, which they're in the whole plant foods if you're eating a good diet. I've just seen what the time is. I really should be asleep in 22 minutes. So I think I better stop there because I'm just so buzzing. I need to bring myself down and
Calm down, it's time for bed.
chill the hell out. I'm getting told off by the missus. Yeah, I better rock and roll, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow morning about 8 a.m. or, 8:30, depending on what time I wake up now. So have a look out for me tomorrow, UK time. Back on tomorrow evening, maybe 6 p.m. What's tomorrow, Gem? Tuesday. We've not got anything on, have we? Yeah, so we'll be on tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, about 6 p.m. GMT. So do set a reminder on your phone or something. If you're new here, we'd love you to become part of this wonderful community. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button, clicking the bell icon so you're notified of new videos. If you want to optimize your health, your physique, your sports performance, with a vegan diet, download my free How to Eat Plant-Based Successfully e-guide. It's a complete overview, all the basics, everything you need to know in order to do all of those. If that whets your whistle and you want to really deep dive and sort of get handheld, like how do you actually apply all these things, simply, what are some recipes, what are nutrition needs by age, stage of life, all that sort of thing. Just basically this new e-course, this new online course, Ultimate Guide to Plant-Based Nutrition. It's everything I know, it's everything Gemma knows, it's all our knowledge or experience. There's combined 20 years of eating a whole foods plant-based diet, PTing, working as a nutritionist, and being a chef. Gemma was a plant-based chef. So, if you really want to deep dive and you want to know all the things, give that a check as well if you want to. Links for both are below. If you're new, we'd love you to become part of this wonderful community. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button. I think I've already said this. I'm going to bed. I'm bloody tired. Good night. Cheers, guys. Hope to see you soon. Love ya.